Democrats already have a problem with people thinking that they are not the common sense crowd. And then when they see, the Chapel Roans and the Billie Eilishes of the world who don't act like normal people, and then whatever they're saying just strikes everybody in America who's a normal person as, oh God,
all right,
here's more of this stuff where you can't relate to a real life. There's a reason why we sometimes separate boys and girls. Boy Scouts now have girls in them. I think this is ridiculous. It's called the Boy Scouts. Do you have to always be stupidly counterintuitive about everything?
Bill Maher is on a mission to highlight what he believes many people overlooked during the recent Oscars. He argues that several actors, producers, and directors received awards that, in his view, seemed designed to appeal to supporters of woke politics.
Girls, they also need time when they're just with girls because they can't be around these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You look like you're angry about this.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just trying to think about it. And I'm like, this is really what I try to do. I try not to get angry about these things, Bill, okay? And I try to think, what I was thinking was, why would they do that? And maybe it's to take away stigma of gender. I don't know.
I'll tell you why, Jerry, they do it. Because the kind of assholes who live here amongst us, the kind of super woke people, they live to have themselves thought of as the good people, as the social justice warriors. So they're always looking for some new marginalized people.
But Maher says the story goes beyond the awards themselves. In his view, there's a larger problem that could have a lasting impact on Hollywood. During a recent episode of Club Random, he took aim at both Democrats and the entertainment industry with some sharp criticism. So hit the subscribe button and let's dive in.
They don't strike people as normal because they're not. Democrats already have a problem with people thinking that they are not the common sense crowd. And then when they see, the Chapel Roans and the Billie Eilishes of the world who don't act like normal people, and then whatever they're saying just strikes everybody in America who's a normal person as, oh God,
all right,
here's more of this stuff where you can't relate to a real life. And of course, there was comedy in there about it's so easy to show celebrities acting crazy, like giving Kanye a school.
Bill Maher criticizes Democrats for relying too heavily on celebrities, arguing that many famous figures no longer connect with the everyday experiences of most Americans. He believes celebrities often live in a very different world, protected from many of the financial pressures, safety concerns, and daily challenges that ordinary people face. According to Maher, that disconnect has become more noticeable to voters. He points to comments made by celebrities on controversial issues as examples of opinions that critics say are shaped by lifestyles far removed from everyday reality. Maher's broader argument is that when public figures speak from that distance, their message can feel less convincing to many Americans. In his view, this growing gap between celebrity culture and everyday life is one reason more voters are tuning out elite voices and looking for leaders who feel more authentic and relatable.
I mean, you can each other off all day long. Kamala Harris lost all 7 swing states. I mean, she went 0 for 7 where the election was. I mean, that's not, you have to almost try to fuck up that badly. As I've said many times, they lost a crazy contest against a crazy person. So, you do you vote for who you want, you believe what you want. I'm friends with everybody. I love being friends with everybody. I mean, there's very few people who I won't talk to. And again, the people who will not give Taylor Sheridan his due are the same people who think that's terrible. Stay in the bubble. Only talk to the people who already agree with you, who see it the way you do.
Bill Maher argues that campaign events featuring major celebrities mainly attract people who already support the Democratic Party. In his view, those events do little to persuade undecided voters because the audience is largely made up of existing supporters. His message is simple. Stop speaking only to the party's base and focus on reaching voters in the political middle. Maher believes the party should highlight voices that feel genuine, practical, and connected to the everyday experiences of ordinary Americans rather than relying on public figures who many people see as out of touch. He also argues that Democrats should avoid shaping their message around the loudest activist voices and instead present a more balanced approach that appeals to a broader range of voters. According to Maher, reconnecting with moderate voters is essential for building wider national support.
I'm not even joking because I'm a fan, so I'm like, oh, let's see Bill, and it's a pressure situation. They're calling your name. You're in front of all those people. Do you give a shit whether you win or lose?
Of course. I mean, you have to be some sort of a liar to say, oh no, I got all dressed up in a monkey suit and, put on makeup at 3 p.m. to go out to this thing and this giant traffic jam. I hated every fucking minute of it. I hated all those Emmy award shows I went to, and they would never give it to me, and they never will, and I understand why. That's okay. We don't have to go into that. But yeah, of course you want to, because you want. I mean, I had such a good speech, but I knew that. I did.
Give it to us. Come on, give us a little bit.
Oh, I don't remember what it was, but I think the first thing I was going to say was, I can't believe this woke town gave me an award.
Yeah. That's why they didn't give it to you, I guess. They didn't want to
exactly why.
Bill Maher did not win the award, and he has said he wasn't surprised by the outcome. After years of criticizing what he sees as Hollywood's embrace of woke politics and its close relationship with the Democratic Party, he believes the industry often values ideology as much as talent. When he received a nomination for Best Performance in Stand-Up Comedy on Television at the Golden Globe Awards, Maher viewed the result as predictable. Rather than staying silent, he criticized the organizers, arguing they were reflecting the same cultural trends he has challenged for years. Maher says his criticism is not simply about one award, but about what he sees as a larger shift in the entertainment industry. In his view, Hollywood is moving away from rewarding creativity and originality and becoming more influenced by political messaging, a direction he believes could gradually push away a broader audience.
There's a reason why we sometimes separate boys and girls. Boy Scouts now have girls in them. I think this is ridiculous. It's called the Boy Scouts. Do you have to always be f***ing stupidly counterintuitive about everything? Girls, they also need time when they're just with girls because they can't be around these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You look like you're angry about this.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just trying to think about it, and I'm like, this is really what I try to do.
Bill Maher strongly criticizes what he sees as a broader cultural shift surrounding masculinity. He argues that traditional masculine traits have increasingly been portrayed in a negative light, causing some men to question their identity and role in society. In Maher's view, that cultural pressure has gone so far that some people now feel encouraged to distance themselves from masculinity altogether. He points to changes at organizations such as the Boy Scouts of America, including the decision to admit girls, as part of what he believes is a wider trend of reducing male-only spaces. Maher argues the issue is less about inclusion and more about changing long-standing institutions. He then points to comments from Jerry O'Connell, saying they reflect the cultural changes he believes have been taking place for years and support the concerns he has been raising.
I try not to get angry about these things, Bill, okay? And I try to think, what I was thinking was, why would they do that? And maybe it's to take away stigma of gender. I don't know.
I'll tell you why, Jerry, they do it. Because the kind of assholes who live here amongst us, the kind of super woke people, they live to have themselves thought of as the good people, as the social justice warriors. So they're always looking for some new marginalized people to champion. And of course, the very thought of it is noble, and I get it, and I'm an old school liberal.
100%.
We've always been there for this.
100%.
And they take it just 10 subway stops too far
100%.
to places where it's just about making them.
Bill Maher continues expanding on his criticism of what he sees as the driving force behind the woke movement. In his view, the focus has shifted away from solving real-world problems and towards signaling moral virtue. He argues that many public statements and campaigns are designed less to create meaningful change and more to demonstrate moral superiority or gain approval within certain social and political circles. According to Maher, the more attention-grabbing or extreme a position becomes, the more recognition it receives, creating an incentive to prioritize symbolism over practical results. He believes this environment encourages performance rather than genuine activism and gradually pushes authenticity into the background. Maher argues that when public debate becomes centered on proving moral purity instead of finding workable solutions, it can deepen political divisions, increase resentment, and ultimately weaken the very causes supporters hope to advance.
You're not Rosa Parks. You're not anybody who's doing anything. You're just like trying to be this sort of social justice warrior. And there's no war that needs to happen here. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, there's no hate crime happening. Okay, it's just about the way it really is with boys and girls.
I think I can speak on this as someone who has two 17-year-old girls here in Los
I
Angeles.
thought you said you had a young kid.
Bill Maher argues that much of the public outrage surrounding these issues is aimed at problems that, in his view, are not as clear-cut as they are often presented. He asks a basic question: what specific crisis requires this level of change? Maher points out that organizations, such as the Girl Guides and the Boy Scouts of America, have traditionally served different purposes while existing alongside one another for many years. Critics who share his view argue that recent changes were not driven by widespread evidence of harm or exclusion, but by a broader effort to reshape long-standing institutions. From this perspective, the focus shifts away from solving an urgent problem and toward redefining traditions that many people believed were already functioning well. Maher says that when major changes are introduced without broad public agreement on the need for them, they can appear unnecessary or symbolic, leading to wider debates about whether every established institution must be fundamentally redesigned.
Is sometimes the case with the woke people that they are their own worst enemies with so much of this. You're talking about your boyfriend, Mamdani, in New York. A lot. I don't know what the tally.
My boyfriend, but
yeah, I don't know what the tally
casually
is.
seeing each other.
I don't know what the tally is now, but it's in the at least high teens of homeless people who have died in the freezing because it's just not the policy of the woke to ever think that we could like forcibly get people off the street, which is what we used to think.
Right.
Old
well, there
school
were vagrancy
liberals.
laws. When I was younger, there was no vagrancy.
It was what we thought was compassionate to not be sleeping in 0-degree weather on the sidewalk, as opposed to their, protecting them like they're some sort of endangered species in their natural habitat. So I only bring this up to say, analogous to, and I could name 10 things, and I don't want to because I don't want this to be so political.
Bill Maher argues that the debate over homelessness extends beyond any single public official. While he has spoken positively about Gavin Newsom on some issues, he has also criticized policies that, in his view, have failed to address the growing homelessness crisis. Maher points to an ongoing debate over how governments should respond to people living on the streets, especially those struggling with severe mental illness or addiction. Supporters of stronger intervention argue that helping people enter shelters or receive treatment, even in limited involuntary circumstances allowed by law, can be more humane than leaving them exposed to dangerous conditions. Critics of those approaches, however, warn that they can undermine personal rights and autonomy. Maher argues that recent policy shifts have leaned too far toward allowing people to remain in unsafe situations without enough intervention. In his view, the gap between good intentions and real-world outcomes has become a central issue in the broader discussion over homelessness and public policy.
Let's do what practically makes sense for the old school liberals of the world, as opposed to what just sometimes seems performative. Now, again, people should absolutely get what they deserve, but also, we live in the era we live in. I can't change the fact that Tilly Norwood is now a movie star. You know who that is?
No, I don't. I'm so sorry.
That's the AI actress.
Oh.
Tilly Norwood. She's not real.
Bill Maher argues that if Hollywood wants to rebuild its connection with audiences, it needs to make practical changes quickly. In his view, the industry has spent too much time focusing on political and cultural messaging while moving away from creativity, originality, and talent. Instead of trying to satisfy a small but vocal group, Maher believes Hollywood should return to its foundation by rewarding strong performances, great storytelling, and films that genuinely connect with viewers. He argues that awards should recognize artistic achievement rather than political ideas or social trends. According to Maher, when recognition appears influenced by ideology, it can damage the credibility of the entire award system, causing audiences to lose interest. His solution is straightforward: rebuild trust, prioritize quality, support authentic creativity, and allow artists to focus on making great entertainment. Otherwise, he warns Hollywood could continue losing touch with the audience that helped make it successful.
How many spaces does she take when she parks in
I don't know, but
Caruso Mall?
none, because she doesn't exist outside of AI.
Is she attractive?
She's very attractive. I mean, this is the future of movies. They're going to shoot it for $10.
Does she have to get high in order for to have a conversation?
That's the point. They're going to want to hire Tilly Norwood.
No, they won't. I'm not
Yes,
afraid of AI.
Oh,
Nobody could AI recreate who you are every Friday night on HBO Max?
No, not me. But a lot of things they could.
Could they have recreated this conversation? Could AI have come
No.
up with us, like talking about Fat Kid from Stand By Me and Goo and Frozen Homeless and covering it all?
No, absolutely not. But could they make Maverick Top Gun? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
They practically did. No, I'm kidding.
I
actually like that.
It was a great movie.
In the end, Bill Maher argues that the issue goes much deeper than a few award shows or political disagreements. His main concern is authenticity, something he believes both Hollywood and the political left are gradually losing.
Bill, you know what? I want to thank you. You're one of the few people, those who don't live in Los Angeles. Bill still shoots his show on a lot, on a Hollywood lot, on a stage.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people have said, oh, it would be cheaper if we moved to this stage out there, or that you're right there in Hollywood shooting it. And that's going to be a part of your budget. And like you do it, I'm currently not working on a lot. I had to go make a film out of the country,
Where?
I went to beautiful country. I went to South Africa. I went to Cape Town.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Really
I bet
fun.
it is.
Really made a great film.
Bill Maher argues that the growing disconnect between elites and everyday people is becoming impossible to ignore. Whether it's Hollywood, politics, or awards culture, he believes authenticity and merit are being pushed aside. His message is simple: return to common sense, celebrate real talent, and reconnect with audiences. Because once trust is lost, rebuilding it becomes much harder. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos.